Welcome back to Off the Top. We are back, and today we will be reviewing GNX by Kendrick Lamar,
Oh yeah.
probably the most anticipated album of 2024. We're in the new year now. The release date was November 22nd. It was a surprise drop, kind of dropped it out of nowhere on everybody's heads after the crazy 2024 that unfolded. Before that, obviously, you got the biggest rap beef of all time between him and Drake. So, first impressions, Sam, what'd you think?
Well, I feel like we kind of called we had a feeling that something was coming before the Super Bowl halftime. Like, what are you gonna play a bunch of songs that are 5 years old? Like, we just haven't gotten music. We kind of saw it, predicted that it was coming. Then boom, no promo, no nothing. Just randomly, wasn't it like noon on a
Yep,
Tuesday or something
yep.
like that? It just randomly dropped while we were on a lunch break, and then there it was, new album, Kendrick Lamar, a full 12 or 14, I forget, but full album, all
Tracks?
new songs. Like,
12 tracks, yep.
I was stoked when I was just sitting at work, and then I just saw Kendrick Lamar dropped an album. Here it is,
Yeah,
GNX. I was like,
yep.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's like that. Doesn't even need promo. That's how hot he is right now.
it was at noon on a Friday, but yeah, zero promo essentially, but like you said, he didn't really need it with the year leading up to it. Biggest rap beef of all time, and it all culminated really into this album.
I mean, it went
Um,
number 1 still, right away, like on Apple and
yeah,
everything at least. Yeah,
instantly, yeah. But I guess we'll go track to track here.
yeah,
We got, I'll just name them off 1 to 12. We got Whacked Out Murals, Squabble Up, Luther featuring
banger.
SZA. We got Man at the Garden, which is a banger. Hey Now featuring Dodie Six. Reincarnated, which is one of my favorite songs on the album, but we'll get to that. We'll save that.
Same.
TV Off, certified banger already.
Yeah.
Dodger Blue, same with that. Peekaboo featuring Ash Cheek, which I thought it's kind of a funny feature name. Never really heard of him, but shout out. He killed it. He killed it. He killed it
I'm gonna change my name to that.
to Ash Cheek.
Yeah, just ass cheek. His
We
mom's
got the
probably
Heart
crying.
Part Six. He's taken back the title from Drake. We got
Yeah.
the Heart Part Six officially on this album. Title track GNX and ending it off with another SZA feature on Gloria. So let's just start with the top. The first track, Whacked Out Murals. What'd you think?
I mean, yeah, whacked out murals. It does start a little slow, but it really picks up like a minute, 90 seconds in, and then it's just like 5 minutes of straight bars. There's like a dark, mysterious vibe. I like the production. It's not my favorite intro all time. We saw a lot of really good ones, even in 2024, with like Eminem's intro on his album, Mac Homie, if I remember correctly. Like, there's a lot of good ones this year, but really strong intro. I'm at like a 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 if we're like grading the song. Really strong
Yeah.
start in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, I
banger.
mean, it really was kind of the perfect way to start the album. He goes in to talk. He instantly talks about the beef with Drake. Obviously, like I
Yeah.
said, that's kind of what culminated into this album. It starts off with, like you said, the braggadocious, kind of sinister flow and cadence, which I really like. The introspective bars, like I said, on the beef with him and Drake. Also mentioning the situation with Lil Wayne. We know that Lil Wayne was upset that he wasn't chosen for the halftime show in Louisiana. Obviously, that's where he's from. Um, and he thought he deserved it. I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't because I think maybe he did too. But it does make sense. Kendrick was picked, one of the biggest rap years in history. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, we have seen those videos go viral of like Lil Wayne performances where he's just like screaming and yelling like a madman. Like, I do kind of feel low key
sure.
like they made the right choice, even though Lil Wayne
And
would have been fun. I love Lil Wayne,
since
but
since they made the decision, Lil Wayne came out and voiced his frustration, and Kendrick felt some type of way about that, and he said, I think he said on this song, starts right off the album, mentioning the situation. He says, I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down.
yeah.
And he also reminisced on the situation with Snoop Dogg, where Snoop Dogg reposted the Taylor Made freestyle
Yeah, I
recorded
remember
by
that.
Drake, where Snoop Dogg was in the song, but an AI version of Snoop Dogg. So Drake, without Snoop Dogg's permission, AI not manipulated, but generated, I guess, a Snoop Dogg and a Tupac verse. Like he was rapping them, but manipulated his own voice to sound like Tupac
Yeah.
and Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg since said that it was an accident. He said it was the edibles that got him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know what he was reposting. Um,
I mean, that
but
makes
yeah,
sense. His Instagram is insane.
yeah, it
He
kind of is.
reposts
It
the
kind of is.
craziest shit.
But yeah, so Kendrick goes into that on Whacked Out Murals at the start. But yeah, it was a good way to start the album. You know what I'm saying? He kind of comes out and says, "Look, this is how I've been feeling," just to wrap up the beef, and then he, almost continues on with his life forward in this album. You know what I mean? So
It's
after
definitely a
that,
good song though.
it's a great song, great song. We got Squabble Up, which is a bit more of more upbeat track, more high energy.
Oh yeah,
One of the best samples of the year, sampling the Debbie Debs "When I Hear Music," just classic, iconic. You know what I mean? Um, Probably one of my favorite samples of the year of 2024. It's got to be up there for sure. Um, and this isn't the only remake or sample that he's done on this album. We'll get to it, but Reincarnated, he uses a Tupac sample, kind of like a Tupac remake, which was also great. But in Squabble Up, like I said, it's more high energy. You can almost play this at like a club, like a dance song. Like I said, Debbie Deb's sample comes in clutch. Like, I don't know. It's a great sample. It's not something you would think that Kendrick would want to rap over, I guess. Just it's an interesting sample choice. I guess I'm not musically inclined to even think about it that way, but great sample. He slides on it, and yeah, it's some shit you can dance to.
I mean, yeah, the energy on Squabble Up is like a 10 out of 10. I do kind of feel like when you listen to the song, it is kind of like a Not Like Us part two. Like, just with the production and the vibe and the energy. It is kind of like another Not Like Us, like vibe wise. I actually prefer Squabble Up as a song over Not Like Us. Like, I think it's a better song. Squabble Up is like a 10 out of 10 to me. Obviously, it's like number one on every chart you could imagine, but it's a
Yeah,
certified slapper. It is. It just is. Drake would love this song. Like no one can
Drake does
deny that
love
this
this
is a
song.
good song.
No, it's a great song. Definitely one of the best on the album for
Yeah.
me. Like I said, probably one of the best samples of 2024. But
It's like the
moving
hit.
in,
It's like the
it's
hit of
probably the
it.
hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Moving into the first of two SZA features on
Crazy.
Luther, where so he starts off sinister with Whacked Out Murals, goes into a dance upbeat vibe on Squabble Up, and now he's gets into the more soulful R&B relaxed vibe, obviously with the SZA feature. Um,
SZA got what you
Chill
like
sound,
down.
yeah, it was a great SZA feature, by the way. I thought it was. I mean, she doesn't really miss, and
Yeah,
it
it's
kind of
hard
just
for her to
proves
miss.
early in the album that he's gonna change up the sounds here, like on this album, because he's got the braggadocious into the club, into the soulful in the first three tracks. So it's kind of a hint at the rest of the album that you're not really sure what you're gonna get, which
Yeah,
is
I mean
good.
her vocals with Kendrick's rapping. I mean, a SZA feature is basically good on any album with any artist. Like her voice on a hook is just gonna make a good song almost every time. But like with Kendrick's like energy and her sweet soft vocals, like it just works super well.
Yeah.
And they're going on a tour together, right? Like that came
Yep.
out after this as
Yep.
well. So the fact that she's on here twice and they're both pretty good songs, we'll get to the other one. But yeah, I mean, I have like a 9 out of 10 on this song too. I love this song.
Yeah. Great song. I mean, and it's a good start. I mean, three for three. Start off the album, three
Yeah,
great songs.
really strong
Not that
first
we
three.
expected Kendrick to miss at all, really, but and one note that I had here is that the production early in the album really stands out to me. I feel like even just after the first three songs, I felt like it was very refined production. Like they took their time on this album. They probably didn't want to say a release date because they wanted it just to be completely finished before they dropped it, But great production, first three
We
songs.
didn't mention either. It's like a shorter album for Kendrick too. It's only like 44 minutes or something running time. Like it's not a crazy long album either.
Yeah,
Like it
no
is
deluxe
short and
yet.
concise. There's no fat to trim.
Yeah, yeah,
Deluxe would be
which we
sick
like.
though.
We like. But after that, he stays in a more soulful kind of vibe at Man in the Garden, saying that he's done his best to be a good man, making a better life for his kids and community, and people still want to attack him, and, bring him down in the beef or whatever's going on in his personal life. But yeah, it kind of stays off Luther into the more soulful, into Man at the Garden, where he's more rapping, but it's definitely more introspective track.
Yeah, it's like a slower, more introspective track. It's definitely not bad, but it's not one you're gonna like go back to and bump as often as some of the other ones, like Squabble Up. Still, this is one of the lowest grades on a song I have on the album, and I still have it at a 7.5 out of 10. It's just not like one I'm going back to super often.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy listen, like
Yeah,
most Kendrick Lamar music. You just got to be in the mood, I guess.
I
But
mean, yeah,
if you're not in that mood, you can get right back into the braggadocious cadences with Hey Now, where it gets, like I said, almost sinister, saying he's the Black Noah, I just strangle me a goat, referencing obviously the beef with Drake. Um, the production and the second verse of Hey Now, where the piano sounds hit, I thought was absolutely immaculate. Great job again on the production and on the rapping. I love his sinister cadences. And yeah, like the the cockiness to just be like, yeah, I just choked Drake the fuck out.
yeah, I love that
It's
line,
great.
and the production on Hey Now is definitely like the strong point. I love the production on that one. That beat is sick. That's a good one,
Yeah.
production
Yep.
wise. Like it's yeah, there's a lot of like different production and little quirks and shit, like a lot of new stuff. Like I like the
That's
production
what
on this album, but it's not like
a
super
lot.
bold and loud. But it's I don't know. It's like
It's like refined. That's what I mean. Like some of the best production on any album last year. I would say.
I mean, of last year alone, definitely it's up there.
Yeah. But then we get into arguably the best song of the album with Reincarnated. Um
Banger.
so this is a remake of a Tupac song, and the beat is just perfect. I feel like Kendrick, and for Tupac, maybe my definitely my favorite beat on the album. One of the beats that stood out the most last year, for sure. And the storytelling on top of the beat, Kendrick's actual rapping performance. I mean, it's just chef's kiss. He is absolutely going and like going insane. The conversation with God, him talking back and forth with God, talk
Yeah,
about living his past lives and eventually becoming Kendrick. Um, the emphasis on wanting to promote peace. You know what I'm saying? And he's kind of like he said he's rewriting the story of the devil. It was just crazy storytelling, super in-depth lyricism. I mean, it's what you expect from Kendrick, you know what I mean? But this was kind of the highlight of it on the album. And the fact that it was a Tupac remake is really so much better because Drake kind of he tried to use Tupac against Kendrick during the beef and
yeah,
Taylor made freestyle
multiple
and
times
and
really. Yeah,
multiple times. Yeah.
yeah.
Um and here goes Kendrick obviously paying homage to the goat, and you know, arguably one upping him. You know what I'm saying? A great song. Probably my
And
favorite song on the album.
his energy on that track too. He's like rapping, as they say, like the rent is due. Like his
Yeah.
aggressive, hungry bars, the conversation, like you mentioned, back and forth with him and himself or him and God. Like he's rapping back and forth with himself. Crazy song, like definitely one of the best on the album. So good.
Yeah, definitely. And
That shit
then
where he's rapping to himself back and forth, with the first time you hear it, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck?
yeah,
Who comes up
yeah.
with this shit?
I don't know. That song is special. That song is
Yeah.
special. I'm gonna say that a lot about this album because it was one of the biggest albums of last year, but arguably one of the best songs of the year and Reincarnated for me. It was the perfect cherry on the end of the year. You know what I mean? We just went on break. We had the whole Kendrick Lamar album to listen to, and that's it, man. Like it was
He's
it was
gonna play the
perfect.
whole album front to back at the Super Bowl too. 44
Yep.
minutes. You can squeeze
Yep.
that all in.
And that's coming up soon. That'll be here soon. But after Reincarnated, we get into the most viral
Yeah. That oh
song of the
definitely
album, easily
insane.
with TV off. I
The
mean, you hear
memes
it
are crazy.
everywhere. Yeah, especially after that first week or two after the album came out, it was everywhere. But even now, a month or so later, it's absolutely still insanely viral. The
Yeah, the whole mustard thing. Yeah,
yeah, the now iconic mustard where he's yelling mustard. Um, yeah,
it's
and
hilarious.
that's really, I mean, it's just the most viral song on the album. You know what I mean?
Heinz loved it. All the
Yeah,
brands were posting it. Like Heinz
yeah.
ketchup loved it. Everyone
Turn
loved
the
it.
TV up. It's solid, and
And
it kind of goes back to that. squabble up kind of upbeat energy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's what I was gonna say. The
So
energy is one that's really high on this one. The production's great. The beat is sick. Like this and Squabble Up, like are like the two that I feel like went really crazy online, just because he's really rapping in the high energy. And I mean, the Mustard thing is hilarious. And I mean, dude, Mustard really had a big year too, honestly, because of Kendrick. Like
yeah,
Not
yeah.
Like
I mean
Us, and then this. He was delivering this year.
yeah, and don't let's not forget he dropped a whole album. You know what I mean?
True.
So,
Yeah.
but moving forward on the album, he goes back and forth from grimy braggadocious to soulful and slow rap on Dodger Blue, which
Yeah.
I thought was insane. The way he was switching his flows was great. Um, and yeah, that's just one of the highlights of the album in terms of rap skill. I feel like because just the versatility in one song is just crazy.
Yeah, he really
Um,
does switch back and forth with the energy and the vibe on it. He's all over the place on this one, like energy and vibe wise.
yeah,
But
yeah,
he's like that's kind of his thing. Like he can play around in all different waters when it comes to rapping. So makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
We expect
And you
that from
see
him
it
at
all
this point.
throughout the album, and that's kind of that came into play after track 3 when you hear SZA come on and the first two songs don't sound alike, and then you hear SZA come on and that doesn't sound anything like the first two.
Yeah.
Um, it goes to show like his ear for music because it's a good variation of sound and every song is good. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
there's
saying?
something
So
for everyone, no matter what your vibe is.
exactly, exactly. Even like my mom would like that Debbie Deb shit. That ass
Facts.
she would. I'm telling you.
That one's for the moms out there.
Yeah, that's for the moms out there. But then he goes on to claim back the Harp Art 6, where he
You
kind of
skip
just
Peekaboo.
Oh, okay. Go
I just
ahead.
want to mention that one just because I don't know if did you not like Peekaboo?
I guess I didn't have a note on it.
Oh, I thought this one, like him and Ass Cheek. Is that really how you pronounce his name? I thought it was AZ Cheek, but Ass Cheek is better. They were there. It's spelled
Just
AZ
context
Cheek.
clue. It's context
I
clues,
I
brother.
never read that as Ass Cheek in my life, so that's amazing. But like they're
It
doing the
might
back
not
and
be.
forth.
Maybe I insulted him. I don't know.
Dude, that guy is Ass Cheek. No, but they're going back and forth on the rapping. I've obviously when you get a rapper and a rapper, another rapper collabing on a song, when they do the back and forth, there's
Yeah,
just like nothing better when that's done well, and
yeah.
they do that on here. It's clearly not like a super serious or like deep song, but I thought it was a really fun one. Great feature from Ass Cheek or Az Cheek, whatever your name is. I just thought it was a fun song. I like that one actually.
There you go. There you go. I do like it too. I think
Yeah,
yeah, he does have a good feature verse. I actually did enjoy it.
yeah. The back and
But
forth shit,
yeah,
I that shit gets me going. You know.
yeah, yep, yep. But then, like I said, he claims back the Hard Part 6 from Drake, who tried to steal it earlier in the year.
Yeah, was
And he
really
kind of
hoping he
just
would do
uses
this.
it to reminisce on his early days and, the whole clique before he popped off and got famous, his life before he got famous, and what he is now to, to the hood and shit. So, yeah, just like it just feels like obviously in the Heart series, it kind of felt like he was reclaiming it and not really trying to mention the beef for Drake at all. He was using it as like,
Just
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
one last fuck you, but without
Yeah, he
actually
just
saying
didn't
it.
want to. Yeah, he didn't want to even like associate the Heart Part 6 with Drake. It felt like, which
Yeah.
was good to me. I felt because you're just totally reclaiming it from the beef. You know what I mean? It's not even doesn't even exist over there. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
when
So
Drake did that, we came on here talking about like, ooh, is he gonna still just do it? Is he gonna jump to 7? Is he gonna do 5.5? What's he gonna do? Heart Part 6 on there like nothing ever happened, and it's a banger of a song. Like
yeah, I mean,
he's
yeah,
spitting
and it
like
makes
crazy, but
sense
he
in the
also has the
series.
yeah, and he also has the introspective stuff and the deep,
Exactly.
meaningful stuff. But he's also like just rapping his ass off. I mean, he did it way better than Drake. Obviously, I have this at like a 9 out of 10. This song rocks.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
Drake's
and
is what, like a 4 out of 10, three and a
I don't
half.
know. I don't. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
I don't even remember exactly.
But yeah, I feel like it just makes sense in the Heart series to me. It's just the the content and the timing of it just makes sense to me. But onto GNX, the title track of the album, probably some of most people's least favorite song, I guess, on the album.
Really? Damn,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's what
know
I've
that.
heard. I don't
I
really
like I
have
like the
too
beat on
much to
this
say
one a
about
lot
it.
though.
Yeah, like great production throughout the album for sure. And
I mean, yeah,
obviously great rapping from Kendrick, and the features are all solid. But this
his
one is one that kind of flies under the radar for most people and for me. I just
mhm.
feel like it's not quite as strong as most other songs on the album.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I have it.
some great songs on here, so
I have it at third last. I have two lower than it, but like my note on this was the beat is definitely different, but I still kind of like it. Honestly, not the best song on the project, but I still really liked it. But it is a Kendrick album. You have to take that into account. Like the worst song on a Kendrick album is still
well,
gonna
yeah,
be a 7 out of
yeah.
10,
That's
and
not
that
me
is what
saying it's
this is.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it's just a weak song for a Kendrick song, but it's still a good song.
sure,
And the
sure.
beat is interesting. Like they're doing interesting stuff, even on the slower, not as great songs.
Yeah, and then they finally ended off with the second SZA feature on Gloria,
Yeah,
which, like you said earlier, the duo is just undefeated.
yeah.
Um,
Of
like you said,
course.
they'll be touring here soon, so that'll be something to see. That'll be great, and it felt like a good wrap up to the whole situation and the album, getting soulful, getting that SZA feature, and kind of just cooling down. You know what I mean? And he ends up talking about the relationship with what seems to be his wife at first in terms of the lyrical content in the song, um, only to the realize only to realize by the end that he's not actually talking about his wife. He's talking about hip hop and his relationship with hip hop. And you as a hip hop fan, you love to see that type of storytelling and that the intricacies in lyricism. You know what I mean? So he did a great job.
And yeah, just one last shout out to SZA. I mean, I feel like getting SZA on a hook is like literally a cheat code.
Yeah, kind
Like
of.
I could make a banger if SZA did the hook. Like it's unfair. Her voice, there's just like something about it. How is
Right.
Rich Baby Daddy so good? It's because of SZA's voice. Like her
Right. Nah,
voice is
she
just like something different. Like
yeah,
she's
she's
an
the
alien,
goat.
bro.
She's the goat.
She's killing
And
it right now.
on top of like Kendrick's rap style is just like it's
Yeah,
so perfect. I don't know.
it's the
I don't know what
perfect
it is.
balance. Her like
Yep.
soft, sensual, beautiful voice, and Kendrick just like spitting vicious like he does.
Right.
It just
Right.
works.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. But yeah, that's the last track on the album. I guess in whole, how did you feel about it? I'll let you go first.
I don't think GNX is my favorite Kendrick album, but it I guess I would put it at 3 for me personally. I don't want to start a huge debate and tell you which ones are above and below it, but I
Okay.
would put it at 3 just without going into too much detail. There's a couple songs I don't love, but I love the SZA songs. I love the Squabble Up, the TV Off, the Reincarnated. He's bringing the energy. It's short and sweet, concise album. There's no filler. 12 songs, 44 minutes. Great Kendrick album. One of the best albums of the year. I mean, I have like 8 songs on here at like a 9 out of 10, so it's hard for me to give this album anything lower than like a 9 out of 10, 9.25 out of 10. Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
loved it. A really strong album. Like, it's good. No way
Yeah.
around it.
No, I agree. I mean, it's a Kendrick Lamar album. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't really miss, and he likely never will. Like you said, from the braggadocious and grimy performances on songs like Whacked Out Murals and Hey Now to the iconic Debbie Deb sample on fuck is it Squabble Up,
Reincarnated. Oh, yep.
Squabble
Oh,
Up.
wrong one. Yep.
To the soulful performances from him and SZA on Luther and Gloria. The production on the album was, like we mentioned, refined and almost perfect. It felt like the Tupac remake, retaking that from Drake and the whole situation with Drake, really encapsulating it and reminiscing on it throughout the album and reminiscing on the whole 2024 year, essentially. I felt like this is kind of the perfect conclusion to the year and to the biggest rap beef in history. It'll definitely go down as one of the best albums of 2024.
Yep.
And is it my favorite Kendrick Lamar album? No, but it's not Good Cat, Mad City for me, at least yet. Maybe in 5 years, who knows? You know what I mean? But some
It's hard
great
to
songs
see.
on here for sure.
If
Reincarnated, I'll be going back to for a long time, for a very long time. Squabble Up, one of my
yeah,
favorite songs on the album. I'll be going back to that. Whack Down Murals, Gloria. There's a lot of songs I'll be going back to on his
Luther
album.
TV off. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I gave it like an 8.75. I feel like there's a little bit to be had on the bone. But like you said, one of the best albums of the year, easily. And I guess we don't have our graphic right now, but if you had to, it's going in the perfect tier list ranking, right? It'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, I would put it at like S tier, perfect.
Yeah,
Like it's as yeah. And
yeah,
how do you feel about the cover? I also like the cover. I feel like it's a cool cover. Like
yeah. Great
there's not
cover.
many flaws to the album for me. Like I would
Nah,
put this
not
as
at
an S
all.
tier album.
Yeah, easily,
High A,
easily.
low S. Maybe not
Yep.
like a Good Kid, Mad City or a Damn, but like it's up there.
Yeah, great album, like you said, and it really did feel like the perfect culmination to the beef, just in terms of the track list, how he addresses it right at the top, ending it with Gloria, and just how he loves, hip hop, and in the middle talking about his actual life and his homies and shit, and the storytelling. So great album from Kendrick. But that is it for today. So we'll be back in a couple days with another album review. Actually, we're going to be talking about Lil Baby's new album, Wham, which we won't spoil how we feel
Oh,
about it
okay.
yet.
I
So,
was gonna say, are you gonna spoil it right now?
nope.
Okay, that's good.
But
I'm ready.
that's it. So make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and share with your friends. And comment your favorite album of 2024. All right?
Facts.
Peace out. See you next week.
Peace.
It's Off the Top Podcast, got you laughing like you hit the gas pack. Show is crazy like you watching Mad Max. Every other podcast is mad whack. Off the Top Podcast.